The culture of longevity is one of the biggest, if not the biggest for me. And again, if you do any research on CrossFit, just sort of the methodology by nature is it's always on a clock, it's always scored, win the workout, and so that this idea that fitness is somehow tied to a daily outcome has been reinforced. And look, in the right setting, I think that can be actually really valuable. But I don't think what that has turned into is people thinking CrossFit every day is a competition day. And then the context of sport, you don't play the game or you don't have an actual match. And when you were playing tennis, you didn't have tennis matches every single day.
Right.
There were training sessions, you were learning new skills or tactics and drills, and you were learning those things. And so I think the people have gone into CrossFit thinking every day is a competition day. And I just don't believe that's true. I don't think that's a long-term vision. I think there are days that you need to, like, let's show up and compete. Like, let's see where we are, Fran or open or various benchmark workouts. But most days, the vast majority of those days should be, I am training. I'm going to work on some aspect of my skill. And it doesn't matter what my score is. It doesn't matter from the last person that finishes in the class or in the day. It doesn't matter. Did I work on that thing and get better at that thing? If the answer to that question is yes, then it was a successful day. But sort of by nature, CrossFit has made people think that, if I'm last in Wadify on the whiteboard, then somehow I didn't get a good enough workout, or I didn't improve my skill, or I didn't work on my breathing technique, or whatever the aspect of that day. So the longevity piece and like training day versus competition day, I think that is really valuable. And we've gotten much better at that in our gym over the last 3 years or so. And I would love for that to continue, like to recognize that there are days to show up and just get after it. And then most days, that's not sort of the point. The point is, let's expose ourselves to some other aspect of training and then get better at that. And then that will show up the next time we have to compete. So that's really the biggest thing that I love about our gym. And that's a continual process. Reinforcing that message over and over and over again allows that to take in to our members, because again, they go on Google and they see the CrossFit games, and they see standard workouts that people post online, and they see score matters, and where am I on the podium?
Am I RX?
Am I RX? Oh, that's a huge one. But those things don't lend themselves very well to the long game, to training when you're 100 years old. There's going to be days, again, that me making you do RX is part of the training day. Hey, we haven't done that weight or at this volume. Let's see how it works. Let's train and see if you can get more comfortable moving that load, just as an example. But RX is a huge one, right? It's like, oh my God, I didn't click RX today. Well, so what? Like, are you losing sleep because you didn't click RX today? Because if you are, I haven't delivered that message very well to the membership. And so that's something that we always are aware of in our messaging. And it's like, some days are really competitive and other days I don't care. If I could do away with a whiteboard, I would. I wouldn't have one. I don't think I can do that because people would lose their minds. But if I could get away with not having a public whiteboard, I would absolutely do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, there's good aspects to it, and then there's the negative aspects.
I mean, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I don't want to make it sound like the competitive aspect of daily CrossFit is a bad thing, because I guess my point is, I think people lose who you are competing with. Right. And you should be competing against who you were yesterday. Not, and again, you can have a rabbit in class. Like I chase Annette all the time because she's way better at life than I am.
What? I don't understand.
I might try to beat you.
Really?
But I don't really, I'm just giving an example.
Oh, okay.
So having a rabbit in an individual class is fine. It's totally fine. But if you walk out of that class thinking, oh, I didn't beat that rabbit, I didn't do what I was supposed to do today, like that's a warped sense of what this is supposed to be about. And
and that's I think a bigger lesson that people need to just apply to life, which is
social comparison. Absolutely.
Am I only basing my value on, can I beat X, Y, and Z? Am I better than? That's and playing the comparison game.
Fixed mindset versus growth mindset.
Yeah. I do enjoy seeing what other people have done, just so I can get a sense of like, they completed 5 rounds. I should probably be able to get to 3.
Totally fair. And I think that in that context, seeing what everybody else does is great, right? It gives you sort of, again, the rabbit, like, okay, this is what I'm kind of chasing. But if you didn't hit 5 rounds.
Right.
Okay.
Am I going to lose my sponsorship for my shoes or something?
like, so what, and because you not hitting that number is dependent on a lot of factors that people just don't take into consideration.
How much sleep I had,
how much sleep you had,
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's right. What was your hydration level? What's your stress level? Oh, and by the way, that other person has all those factors too. So maybe they were on cloud 9 that day.
Right.
So the whole winning thing, it's a finite game versus an infinite game. I just don't see that being a real valuable piece of information to struggle with on a daily basis.
Yeah. I do appreciate too, like I have been keeping track of things, and that somehow magically it knows if I got a PR on something. That's nice. Because then I get confetti on my phone.
Oh, you get confetti. I miss the confetti, Trey.
You get a gold star. You get a gold star.
It's a shitty looking little thing. The confetti is so fun. I forgot all about that.
All right. The confetti might have sold me.